Hello and a very warm welcome, and in today's video we're going to talk 5-second penalties. Unfortunately, we have to talk about 5-second penalties. The inconsistency and a 5-second penalty is not really a penalty for destroying someone's race. A 5-second penalty for destroying someone's race is the same as a track limits, which is also 5 seconds. So yeah, questions really need to be asked about the penalty system and the way penalties are handed out. Back-to-back races now, we have seen the same incident, and it's not really a punishment, is it? For an example, we go George and Perez going down into, turn 4, Austria. George, in hindsight, he couldn't really do much more than he did, George. He was as far as he could be on the curb. It was George's fault, 100%, but yeah. He basically took out Perez, and he got a 5-second penalty, and George still could come back and finish P4. So again, it's not really a penalty when you can serve that 5-second penalty at your pit stop. You come into the box, no one works for 5 seconds. Off you go. It's not really a penalty, is it? Like, the crime doesn't really fit the punishment. Yeah, I think that's a good analogy. The crime doesn't fit the punishment. You take France, for example. Was it the first lap? Yeah, you've got Yuki Tsunoda on the outside, Ocon down the inside. Ocon smashes into Tsunoda. Ocon receives a 5-second penalty, still finishes in the points. So it's not really a punishment. And Yuki Tsunoda had to retire due to damage. The same Perez had to retire at Austria due to damage. So again, the crime does not fit the punishment. You cannot be given 5-second penalties for basically ruining someone's race. We've seen it back to back now, and it needs questioning. Why are we not giving a severe penalty? Now, we've got to be careful because we don't want to stop people going wheel to wheel and racing. I watch Formula 1 for racing, for wheel to wheel action. We don't want to be giving a severe penalty and then drivers just not overtaking and staying behind because they might get a penalty. We need to see the racing, but yeah, it needs looking at. 5-second penalty is not a punishment for basically ruining someone's race. George ruined Perez's race. Ocon ruined Tsunoda's race. And a 5-second penalty is not enough. It's just not. There needs to be something done about it. There needs to be a harsher penalty. Because basically you can wipe someone out, totally ruin their race, and you can still pick up a solid points haul. Now, what penalty could be applied? I think 10 seconds. Instead of 5, 10 seconds. Now, that is a bit... it's basically like a 10-second stop and go. And these penalties, you can serve it during your pit stop, or it gets added to your race time. You can't be going drive-through penalties, because that's too severe. 5-second penalty is lenient for ruining someone's race, I believe. I'd like to know your thoughts on this. It's got to be touched upon because that's back-to-back races now, and we've seen a 5-second penalty for ruining someone's race. It's like just washed under the carpet, really. Yes, they're being punished with 5 seconds, but they're not really being punished because Ocon finishes comfortably in the points. George finishes comfortably in the points. And we've seen it time and time again, especially at Austria, turn 4. Yeah. Just my thoughts, 5-second penalties. I can't believe we're talking about the penalty system, but this penalty in question is not right. And we could see it at Hungary. A fine example would be, I don't know. Let's go for one. Down into turn 1. Ocon on Latifi. Latifi's gone down the inside of Ocon. Ocon's got to retire because he's got a rear right puncture. Latifi gets a 5-second penalty. It's just not enough, is it? It is not enough. You can basically ruin someone's race and you're going to be slapped with a 5-second penalty. And then when you pit, wait, hits 5.1, 5.9, off you go. It's not a punishment. Like I say, I think that's a perfect way to describe it. The crime does not fit the punishment. Yeah. Honestly, comment down below your thoughts. I would love to know, because that's 2 back-to-back races. The same penalty's being applied, so there's consistency there. But that penalty is not enough for ruining someone's race. It's just not. Perez scores no points at Austria through no fault of his own. Yuki Tsunoda scores no points at France through no fault of his own. Interesting. Let them comments commence.